Welcome everyone to this fascinating journey into the world of rare coins where even the smallest piece of change could turn out to be a life-changing fortune. Today we are diving deep into one of the most extraordinary coins ever known, the 1981 no-mint mark USA 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors and investors alike by being valued at a staggering $5 million. And the reason behind this jaw-dropping price lies in the fascinating world of minting errors, striking mistakes, and production anomalies that transform what looks like an ordinary penny into a numismatic treasure unlike anything else. So sit back, relax, and let's explore together how such a small copper-plated coin could command such an astronomical value in the marketplace. Now, when we look at the history of the 1981 penny, we need to understand that it was part of the final era of the traditional bronze cents before the transition to zinc-based cents in 1982, so already the year holds a special place in the timeline of U.S. coinage. But when you add the element of a missing mint mark, die errors, planchet flaws, double strikes, off-center strikes, repunch dates, and other anomalies, you begin to see why certain examples stand out from the billions minted that year and why collectors go into bidding wars when one of these rare varieties surfaces at an auction. The missing mint mark is the first and most obvious clue to rarity. Normally, pennies produced in Philadelphia prior to 2017 did not carry a mint mark at all, but in 1981 there were experimental processes and transitional inconsistencies where some coins could exhibit faint or partially struck mint marks, while others were completely omitted due to die preparation mistakes. Now imagine a scenario where the mint intended to apply a mint mark using a punch, but due to overpolishing of the die or a slip during preparation, the mint mark never appeared on the coin. Such an error immediately elevates the rarity factor because it distinguishes the coin from the billions of regular Lincoln cents that flood circulation. But this alone is not always enough to create a multimillion-dollar value. The real magic happens when multiple errors overlap on a single coin. For instance, a 1981 no-mint mark cent might also exhibit a dramatic doubling on the obverse where Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions, Liberty, or the date, 1981, appear doubled due to a misaligned hubbing process. This form of doubling, known as a doubled die, is one of the most sought-after mistakes because it provides a visual anomaly that collectors can easily verify. Similarly, die cracks, cuts, and breaks that occurred during high-speed production runs of the early 1980s could produce raised lines, missing details, or extra metal blobs that add to the uniqueness of the piece. Now combine a missing mint mark with a dramatic doubled die and a die crack running across Lincoln's head or through the lettering, and suddenly you have a coin unlike anything else, a coin that sparks attention not only among error specialists but also among mainstream collectors and investors. Another layer of rarity emerges with off-center strikes, where the coin blank was not perfectly seated in the collar during the strike, causing the design to appear partially missing or shifted to one side. In some extreme cases you may see only half of Lincoln's portrait, while the other half is blank. These coins are highly collectible, and when they occur alongside the no-mint mark anomaly from 1981, their value skyrockets. Let us not forget planchet errors. Sometimes the copper coating or the alloy mixture is incorrect, leading to coins that appear with unusual coloring, improper weights, or surface textures. A 1981 cent struck on a transitional planchet meant for another denomination or another year would be considered a discovery piece worthy of record-setting bids. And indeed there are stories of such coins surfacing in estate collections or in pocket change finds, fueling the dream that anyone could stumble upon one. The market psychology behind these multimillion-dollar values is also important to understand. Collectors and investors crave rarity, uniqueness, and verifiable mistakes that set one coin apart from the rest. When two or more major errors converge on a single piece and the coin is preserved in uncirculated condition with original luster, the bidding frenzy at auction can reach unimaginable levels. This is how a 1981 no-mint mark penny could cross into the territory of $5 million, not merely because of the absence of a mint mark but because of the combination of multiple striking and preparation errors plus the historical context of 1981 as a transitional year before the composition change. Some examples also show weak strikes where the pressure during minting was insufficient to bring out all the design details, resulting in ghostly images that intrigue collectors, and others may reveal clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a misfeed of the blanking press. Each of these factors taken alone adds value, but when stacked together in the same specimen you get the perfect storm of rarity. Another fascinating possibility is coins struck using proof dies on regular circulation planchets or vice versa, creating hybrid anomalies that were never intended to exist. If such a 1981 no-mint mark penny were discovered with mirrored proof-like fields and frosted devices yet lacking the standard mint mark, it would be instantly considered one of the great rarities of the Lincoln cent series. Beyond the physical attributes, there is also the narrative power of these coins. Every collector dreams of discovering the impossible coin hidden in a jar, drawer, or piggy bank. The 1981 no-mint mark penny worth millions feeds directly into this dream and fuels the fascination of both seasoned numismatists and newcomers alike. People love the idea that something so ordinary could be secretly extraordinary, and this cultural allure is part of why the coin market sustains such high valuations for unique error pieces. The grading process by professional services also plays a critical role. A coin authenticated and encapsulated with error attributions like no mint mark, double die obverse, off-center strike, and graded mint state red or brown red can instantly multiply in value because buyers trust the legitimacy. The auction houses then create competitive atmospheres where wealthy collectors push prices into the millions, making headlines that further fuel the public imagination. When we reflect on why a small cent from 1981 could be valued at $5 million, we realize it is not just about metal content. It is about history, accidents, artistry, and the thrill of rarity that transforms pocket change into treasures. And while billions of 1981 pennies circulate with little more than sentimental value, those rare no-mint mark era coins sit at the pinnacle of desirability, representing the peak of what a collector's market can achieve when passion meets rarity. So the next time you see an old penny in your change or lying forgotten in a drawer, take a closer look. Check for missing mint marks, doubling, cracks, or unusual features, because who knows, you might be holding on to a fortune disguised as a humble cent. And with that, we wrap up this incredible story of the 1981 no-mint mark 1 cent coin valued at $5 million. A reminder that hidden treasures can be found in the most ordinary of places, and that every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. Next, 1976 no-mint mark 1 cent USA coin. We are about to uncover the jaw-dropping story of the 1976 no-mint mark USA 1 cent coin that has stunned collectors and investors around the globe with an estimated value of a staggering $7 million. Yes, you've heard it right. A single penny from 1976, a year known for America's bicentennial celebrations, could be worth more than a luxury mansion, exotic cars, and a lifetime of financial security. All because of errors, anomalies, minting mistakes, and the historical context that have elevated this coin from spare change to legendary status. So let's take a journey through the details of what makes the 1976 no-mint mark penny so rare and why numismatists go wild whenever whispers of such a coin surface in auctions or private collections. First, let's understand the background. 1976 was a monumental year in U.S. history as the nation marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The Mint was busy producing bicentennial quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins with special dual-dated 1776 to 1976 designs, yet the humble Lincoln cent continued with its classic design featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Billions of these cents were struck at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But when we talk about the no-mint mark variety, the story gets even more interesting, because while Philadelphia traditionally produced coins without mint marks, the presence or absence of marks in 1976 was not always straightforward. Overpolished dies, mispunched dies, faint impressions, or accidental omissions could result in rare anomalies, and these slight variations are exactly what separate an ordinary cent from one that is valued in the millions. Imagine holding a penny from 1976 where the mint mark was either completely missing due to a preparation oversight or never intended to appear in the first place, and then layer upon that additional striking errors such as a dramatic double die obverse where the date 1976, or the word Liberty, shows bold doubling, or where Lincoln's portrait itself appears double due to hub misalignment, Errors like this are the foundation of numismatic legends. Now picture this coin with not just one error but multiple, such as being struck off-center so that part of Lincoln's head is missing while the rest of the design is shifted dramatically, or perhaps the coin was struck on the wrong planchet. Intended for a dime or foreign coin, giving it a smaller or lighter weight, such dramatic wrong planchet errors instantly elevate a coin's desirability. And if all these factors align with the already fascinating narrative of a 1976 no-mint mark penny, the results are breathtaking. Collectors scramble to bid, investors see opportunities, and the price climbs into the millions. The fascinating thing about the 1976 cent is that it sits at the crossroads of modern and historic U.S. coinage. It wasn't a transitional year like 1982 when the metal composition changed, but the attention of the mint was heavily focused on the bicentennial designs, which means production inconsistencies in other denominations like the cent sometimes slipped under the radar. This opens the door to mistakes such as weak strikes, filled dies where parts of the design like the motto, "In God We Trust," appear faint or missing, or die cracks that form raised lines across the coin's surface. And when these occur, on a no-mint mark example from 1976, they create a piece that is not only rare but historically tied to one of the most patriotic years in U.S. history. Now let's imagine another thrilling scenario. Suppose a small number of 1976 Lincoln cents were struck using proof dies by mistake at the Philadelphia Mint, resulting in coins with mirrored fields and frosted devices yet lacking the mint mark that would normally identify a San Francisco proof issue. Such hybrid pieces are extremely valuable because they were never meant to exist, and when authenticated by grading services they become holy grails for serious collectors. Add to this the possibility of clipped planchets where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a misfeed of the metal strip, or broad strikes where the collar fails and the coin spreads wider than normal. And suddenly the 1976 penny becomes a canvas of minting chaos that excites collectors around the world. The $7 million price tag might sound unbelievable at first, but it is the culmination of rarity, condition, provenance, and collector demand. When wealthy numismatists compete for ownership of a one-of-a-kind era penny from such a symbolic year, the sky is the limit. Auction houses create a spectacle, headlines spread the story of a penny worth millions, and the mystique grows even more, fueling everyday dreamers to check their pocket change just in case lightning might strike twice. What makes the 1976 no-mint mark penny even more alluring is its connection to American heritage. Imagine finding such a coin that was minted in the very year citizens celebrated 2 centuries of freedom and progress, a small copper coin carrying the weight of eras and history alike, a relic that connects the everyday lives of people in 1976 to the treasure hunts of collectors today. It becomes more than money, it becomes a time capsule of mistakes, craftsmanship, and national pride. Some examples are also rumored to have unusual coloration due to planchet contamination or improper alloy mixing, resulting in pennies with golden hues, deep reds, or even darker tones, anomalies that draw the eye and attract specialists. When paired with the missing mint mark, these unusual colorations further distinguish a coin as unique, and the more unique a piece becomes, the higher its value climbs. Another fascinating aspect is the role of grading services. When a 1976 no-mint mark penny with multiple errors is discovered and graded at a high mint state level, say MS 65 or above, the coin's value multiplies dramatically. Encapsulation not only protects the piece but also provides the authenticity and credibility needed for million-dollar sales. Auction catalogs describe these coins in glowing detail, emphasizing every anomaly, and bidders prepare to break records. This is how legends are born in the coin collecting world. Now think about how many billions of pennies were produced in 1976, most of them ordinary, spent countless times in shops, parking meters, and piggy banks, yet among those billions could be a handful that slipped through the cracks of quality control, carrying with them errors so spectacular that they transform into once-in-a-lifetime discoveries. The odds are astronomical, but it is precisely this rarity that drives collectors to pay extraordinary sums. The 1976 no-mint mark penny worth $7 million represents hope, mystery, and the thrill of the hunt. It proves that hidden treasures may still be out there waiting in circulation, in dusty drawers, in jars of change long forgotten. So as we close this chapter, remember the lesson every coin collector holds dear. Always check your change carefully, study the details, learn the markers of rarity, because a humble cent could be the ticket to unimaginable fortune. The story of the 1976 no-mint mark USA 1-cent coin is not just about copper and minting errors. It is about the magic that happens when history, chance, and human passion collide to create something far greater than the sum of its parts. And that is why today we marvel at how a small coin born in the year of America's bicentennial could rise to a value of $7 million, a true testament to the fact that greatness can be hidden in the smallest of places. Next, 1964 no-mint mark 1-cent USA coin, another incredible deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, where we uncover stories that prove even the smallest piece of change can hold unimaginable wealth. Today we are exploring one of the most astonishing discoveries in numismatic history. The 1964 no-mint mark USA 1-cent coin that has been valued at an unbelievable $11 million. Yes, you've heard that right. A single penny from 1964 that might look like every other common Lincoln cent at first glance has stunned collectors, investors, and historians by reaching a value so high that it surpasses the price of mansions, luxury yachts, and rare works of art, and the reasons behind this jaw-dropping figure are rooted in errors, minting mistakes, anomalies, and historical significance that make this coin not just rare but practically one of a kind. So let's begin unraveling the mystery of how a coin that cost just 1 cent to spend could turn into a multimillion-dollar treasure. First, let's step back into history. 1964 was a turbulent and transitional year in America. The nation was dealing with the aftermath of President John F. Kennedy's assassination. The civil rights movement was in full swing, and the U.S. Mint was facing incredible demand for coinage due to a growing economy. Billions of Lincoln cents were produced that year at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and since Philadelphia coins traditionally carried no mint mark, most 1964 pennies appear without one. So what makes the 1964 no mint mark penny so different? The answer lies in the errors and mistakes that elevate a specific specimen into a category of its own. Among the most dramatic errors are doubled dies where inscriptions such as Liberty, the motto, In God We Trust, or the date 1964 show bold doubling caused by misalignment during the hubbing process. Such double die coins are instantly sought after, but imagine finding one where the doubling is exceptionally strong and paired with other striking anomalies. The rarity multiplies. Another significant factor could be off-center strikes where the design is shifted dramatically, showing only part of Lincoln's portrait while the other side is blank. Collectors love such errors, and when tied to 1964 no-mint mark examples they become unique treasures. Then there are planchet errors. Sometimes coins were struck on blanks meant for dimes or even foreign coins, creating wrong planchet errors that are so spectacular that collectors are willing to pay record-breaking prices for them. Imagine a 1964 penny struck on a silver dime planchet, weighing less and appearing unusual in color. Such a piece would be one of a kind, a true numismatic marvel. Die cracks and cuds also add to the intrigue. These occur when minting dies crack under pressure, leaving raised lines or missing design chunks on the coin. Such flaws create unique patterns that ensure no two coins are exactly alike. When these errors appear on a 1964 no-mint mark penny, they give it character and rarity, further increasing value. Now let's consider historical context. 1964 was also the final year before significant changes in U.S. coinage, as silver was about to be removed from dimes, quarters, and half dollars starting in 1965 due to rising metal prices. While the penny remained bronze until 1982, the year 1964 stands out as a turning point. Coins from this year already carry historical weight, and when combined with spectacular errors, the allure skyrockets. Collectors and investors recognize the uniqueness of coins tied to transitional eras, and this drives their value to levels that shock the uninitiated. What truly propels a coin into the multimillion-dollar category is the convergence of rarity, condition, and demand. When a 1964 no-mint mark penny with dramatic errors surfaces in pristine mint state condition, with original luster and minimal marks, grading services such as PCGS or NGC authenticate it. and assign a high grade like MS-65 or MS-66, suddenly the coin transforms from a collector's curiosity into an investment-grade treasure. Wealthy collectors, investors, and even institutions compete fiercely in auctions to own it, driving the price up to breathtaking figures like $11 million. Provenance also plays a role. If a specific coin has been part of famous collections or has a storied history of discovery, its value increases even more, because in numismatics the story of the coin is often as valuable as the coin itself. Imagine the tale of someone finding a 1964 penny in their piggy bank or change jar only to discover it is one of the rarest error coins ever minted. The narrative alone adds millions to its perceived value. Beyond physical errors, there are also theories that some 1964 pennies were experimental strikes or test pieces. Perhaps produced with unusual alloys or under special conditions. If authenticated, such coins would be considered priceless. Another fascinating anomaly involves proof-like strikes. If a Philadelphia coin was accidentally struck with proof dies meant for San Francisco minting, the result would be a hybrid rarity, a circulation coin with mirror-like fields and frosted details, something so unique that collectors would fight tooth and nail to own it. Now let's think about how collectors view such coins. For them it is not just about copper and cents. It is about owning a piece of history, a mistake frozen in time that no one else can duplicate. It represents the mystery of minting, the flaws of machines and humans, and the chance discoveries that defy probability. The emotional and psychological value is immense, and when money is no object for some collectors, they are willing to pay astronomical sums just to say they own the rarest penny in existence. Imagine an auction room buzzing with anticipation. The coin encased in a protective holder, experts describing its every anomaly, bidders raising paddles, the price climbing higher and higher until it surpasses all expectations. This is how legends like the 1964 no-mint mark penny worth $11 million are born. And the fascination does not end there. Because stories like this inspire ordinary people everywhere to start checking their change, digging into old jars, searching through inherited coin collections, hoping to stumble upon a fortune hiding in plain sight. The dream of discovery is as valuable as the coin itself, and this is why rare pennies like the 1964 no-mint mark continue to capture the imagination. Now let's add another layer: surface toning. Over the years, coins can develop rainbow-like colors due to oxidation, and collectors prize naturally toned coins for their beauty and uniqueness. If a 1964 penny with multiple errors also shows spectacular natural toning, its desirability multiplies, making it not just a rare coin but a work of art. In the numismatic world, beauty matters as much as rarity, and when both are present, the value skyrockets. Some also speculate that special strikes were produced in 1964 during the coin shortage crisis when mints experimented with methods to increase production speed. Mistakes from this rush could have created unique anomalies now worth millions. All these factors converge to explain why a 1964 no-mint mark USA penny could be valued at $11 million. It is not just a coin, it is a phenomenon, the perfect storm of history, error, rarity, and demand, a piece that symbolizes the unpredictability of numismatics and the incredible wealth hidden in the most ordinary-looking objects. So the next time you hold a 1964 penny, look closely, check for doubling, cracks, off-center strikes, unusual weight, or proof-like qualities, because the next legendary discovery could be in your hands, and as collectors know, the thrill of the hunt is half the reward. The story of the 1964 no-mint mark penny worth $11 million will continue to inspire, amaze, and remind us all that even the smallest treasures can hold the greatest fortunes, proving once again that in the world of coins, miracles are always possible.